Dear Rotary friends, our next guests have become friends through meeting at the RYLA program of District 9640. After attending RYLA, the worthies say each Rotarian as attendants or committee members. They are also members or honorary members of the Rotary Club of Southport. Their spirit of adventure, good heart, and infectious creativity united to all of them to drive through community awareness and support for a neurological disorder known as dystonia. Let's hear of this charity, this adventure, who has raised over $11,000 support of the research of the disorder. Please welcome the big brother, Glenn Gordon, Julian Butagig, and Andrew Nolan.
Good morning, everyone. How are we?
Good.
We cannot honestly fathom that we are sharing this stage with so many excellent guest speakers today. Seriously, you guys are amazing. We're just three guys who agreed to do something really stupid, and we have a lot to cover. So basically, we want to talk about our adventure, kind of how that all came together, our history, and what we have basically planned for the future. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, who in this room has heard of RYLA? That's a lot more than I thought. I'm asking Rotary that because a lot of people don't actually know their own program, which is really funny. It's right there, but who knows what the acronym stands for? Without looking at anything. Right, yes. RYLA stands for Rotary Leadership Award. I know, handsome and informative. So, let's keep rolling. That was a terrible joke. Right, so basically, Rotary's written definition of RYLA states that RYLA is a premier youth leadership development program designed to promote proactivity, personal and professional development of Australian youth who have been already identified with exceptional leadership potential. Sounds lovely. These are lovely words organised into a sentence that isn't adequate, albeit quite beige, really. Summary of what you're in for when you agree to sign up, or more appropriately, are sent by your parents or your friends to go. Not me, I wanted to go. Unfortunately, RYLA is so much more in this written definition. It's really hard to put into words what RYLA is and just exactly what it does for someone. It's really hard to do this program justice. Alright, so out of the people who raised their hands, who's witnessed the impact firsthand on RYLA that has on a person? Yeah, would you agree it's fairly incredible, right? Yeah. You don't go to RYLA and come back the same person. That's a fact. Alright, so who's been to Rotary dinner night? I know your arms are probably pretty sore, so just keep that going to work out. Yeah. Forget fossil fuels, forget clean energy. If you could somehow harness the energy of daggy dancing that goes on in that night, you could power this entire district for a month. It's woeful and beautiful at the same time. The energy levels are just incredible, really. Everyone's feeding off each other and kind of pumping each other up. It's like fresh blood is really being pumped through 100 people's veins. You can feel it's really like an awakening. If there ever was such a thing, it's like a positivity nuke. I know it's like the complete opposite of a natural nuke. It has like love and good things involved with it. So this positivity nuke is just being dropped on these people, and with it an explosive shockwave of excitement and really devastating raw energy. These future leaders are absorbing valuable and tangible goal-setting, kind of motivational lessons, you would say. It's like the untapped potential in 100 people suddenly being let off in one poorly ventilated room. I'm not talking about the smell, although RYLA does bring down a funkin' people that know enough of Blink 20 quicker than us do. For those who can, you do. The fallout from this positivity nuke, basically, when the awardees eventually go home or are kicked out, has a prolonged and contagious effect. Family members, friends, work colleagues, lawn bowls, partners, whoever, everyone can see that something amazing has just been unlocked from inside of you. It's like this incredible person that you never imagined you could be has just been unleashed on the world. You feel an undeniable sense of invincibility and capability. You feel like you've been gifted the world's greatest toolkit that has a tool for every single aspect of life. You know exactly how to use it. So, which is painting a fairly accurate picture of what RYLA is. Yeah. So, as lovely as the official Rotary summary is of RYLA, it just doesn't quite give it the punch that it rightfully deserves. We're all incredibly passionate and really excited about RYLA, and we want you to be as well, considering it is your program and you should be thoroughly excited about it. And also this speech and life in general, so.
Now, why on earth are we here telling you about your own program? Well, RYLA is exactly why we stand before you today. All three of us have paid it forward by returning to help plan, organise and facilitate a combined 4 years of RYLA. For us, paying it forward didn't end when we aged out of RYLA. Julian and Andrew were both founding members of the Rotary Club of Southport since its re-establishment in 2011. We were all looking forward to looking for new ways to help out in the community. So after successful years with RYLA and Rotaract, we were looking to step things up a bit. And this is where we enter the Rickshaw Run. The Rickshaw Run is an event hosted by The Adventurous, which is a 3,000-kilometre pan-Indian adventure in an auto rickshaw or tuk-tuk, or sometimes more appropriately referred to as a 7-horsepower lawnmower. It's easily the least sensible thing you could do in 2 weeks. And how did we hear about it? Well, I actually showed Andrew the tongue-in-cheek Rickshaw Run promo video on the internet, and with no thought at all, he actually said, "We have to do that."
It was literally like
just like that. After that, it was a matter of finding a third person who was willing to push the rickshaw when it inevitably broke down. So we put the idea to Julian, and obviously he was also lacking in the sensibility department, and said yes. So after doing initial research, we quickly discovered the Rickshaw Run is completely unsupervised. You have zero support and zero backup. You have a starting point, an end point, and the world's least enterprising vehicle. That's it. We were on our own and way over our heads. This was going to take some serious organising. There were flights, vaccinations, getting a motorbike licence, registrations, deposits, equipment, visas, potential routes and things to avoid. This fun little adventure was quickly becoming an epic journey, and we were still sitting at my dining table. But the great thing about just saying yes and throwing yourself into a situation is that great things can arise.
So the Adventurists' Rickshaw Run chosen charity is Cool Earth, which is an Amazonian rainforest preservation charity. A minimum of 500 British pounds needs to be raised for this charity, and then after which participants can choose to support any charity that they wish to do so. Since RYLA, Andrew has always had a goal to raise funds and awareness for dystonia. Now, dystonia is a debilitating neurological disorder which is very similar to Parkinson's. Dystonia has taken so much away from the person that he loves the most, his mother, Lee. Dystonia is incredibly nasty, and it causes involuntary muscle spasms, convulsions, twisting, jerking, and constant pain. There is no known cure. Just methods to ease the symptoms. Sorry, I've lost my spot. The methods include regular Botox injections, anticonvulsants, and heavy painkillers. Andrew has always wanted to help his mother somehow. To see the suffering and slow degradation of Lee is incredibly difficult, especially when very little is known about Lee's condition. For quite some time, he struggled to think of a way in which he could incorporate the fundraising and publicity that we needed to make a difference. So, on Andrew's goals list, to help his mother, it sat there idle. That was, of course, till the rickshaw run. So it was decided, 3 young men, veterans of RYLA, we would form the Brains Trust, a rickshaw run team that was determined to traverse India unsupported in man's most poorly assembled vehicle, to raise money and awareness for dystonia research, with the Brain Foundation as our nominated charity. We were inspired, we still are. We had the perfect platform to work a dystonia awareness campaign. We approached every media outlet we could think of. We had articles in the Springfield Times, Kimboomba Times, thanks boys, the Queensland Times, and even the Times of Malta. Yep. We had interviews with Keith Abraham on his video blog. Keith's the speaker tomorrow, definitely sit in on his session. We also had multiple radio interviews with Juice 107.3 FM on the Gold Coast and Gary Hargreaves on Brisbane's ABC Radio. I was even interviewed on Television Malta. We ran a very successful Facebook page, keeping everyone up to date leading up to and during our time in India. We got the word dystonia out there, because that's what this was about. Making some noise and drumming up some much needed awareness for a condition that not many people have even heard of. Our awareness